Alright folks, so before this video starts, I want to mention that this is actually part of a bigger video that I did back in 2022 or 2021 on turbo outrun repair. And there was a monitor that came with that arcade cabinet which was not working, and the repair was quite lengthy and tedious. And normally what I do in those is actually take the monitor part and put that in a separate video, but I forgot to do that with this one. So I thought I would extract all the content I'd recorded, and that is part of this lengthy, I think it's an hour-and-a-half video, and put that into a single video just for search purposes. So if people want to look up restoring or repairing a similar chassis, they'll find the video easily, as opposed to having to sift through an entire video and maybe not even realize that it's in there. So this is what this video is about. Also, while I'm here, I want to thank the sponsor. Might as well do it now, PCBWay, for sponsoring this video, as they always do. Thank you very much. PCBWay do, of course, PCB manufacturing and part assembly, but also do stuff like CNC machining, 3D printing, injection molding, all that kind of stuff. So much appreciated. Thank you very much, PCBWay, for being cool supporters of this channel. Anyway, let's get on with this video. All right, so I'm working on the chassis for the Rad Mobile cab. This is the chassis that came with it. So I did first a long visual inspection on this guy, and found I found a lot of visibly bad parts. First, here there's a giant resistor. You can see, actually, there's a lot of char mark. I don't know, also I cleaned it because it was just filthy. So I replaced a few things. There's this resistor here. Do I still have it? Did I throw it away? I did. But looked very burned and all that. It tested okay, but this guy gets a lot of heat, so I replaced it with a higher wattage one and lifted it off the board so it doesn't burn the board anymore, hopefully, because it seems to generate a lot of heat. I suspect it's because something else was bad and this thing was just taking too much load. One of those coils here, you'll forgive me because it's stuff sticking to it because there's a magnet, was just broken, so I replaced that with another one that I had of similar value and pin out. This coil was okay. There was a giant resistor here that was coming here that didn't look the healthiest, and when I inspected the top, oh, where is it? Yeah, I mean, the top was just broken. It wasn't a resistor anymore. It was just nothing, and as soon as I pulled it out, it just crumbled. So I ordered a new one. This is, I can't remember what wattage it is, or what ohm it is. It's very low, high wattage resistor. So it takes a lot of heat, it generates a lot of heat and load. And then I had some cabs that were just visibly dodgy, like not finding any. So I just looked into my cap parts and found that I had a lot of these caps. So I went ahead and just recapped a lot of them. I've marked them in blue, the ones I've changed and tested. Tested this guy, these resistors. So this one I don't have one of the correct value, and then a few here I didn't quite have them. But I'll order a few caps, and for the other monitor as well in time. Right now I just want to see if this thing powers. Tested the diodes, they were all fine. All the fuses are fine. Big resistors here and here are okay. The hot was okay. I won't know about the flyback, but you know, it looks visibly fine. Actually, it looks almost brand new. So other than that, I did an inspection at the bottom, and oh my god, was there a lot of burn traces. There was one here that was just tricky to get to, that I repaired, that's linked to this giant resistor here. So that must generate a lot of heat. There was a broken trace here, on the flyback, so I just linked it to the next pad. A lot of chart stuff here that I'm essentially gonna, when I'm putting the next resistor, I'll patch it this way. Large broken trace here, another broken trace here, just lift it off, you know. Here, some, I don't know, messing as well, just burnt.
burnt chassis really. I reflowed a lot of them. That I found a lot of dry solder on this section. This section, which is the high voltage, was fine, but it just gets the high voltage, or the mains, sorry, conversion, and then all the high voltage is really here. So that's really what gets a lot of heat and high stuff. This here was a mess. Every single one of these had lifted the traces and sort of started burning their way through the board. So I did my best just to try and patch them. I'll triple check that I don't have bridges. It's not my handiest work, but it works. See here, they're probably a bit too close. I'm just I'll be afraid something arcs, something like that. So I'll just right now I just wanted to solidify the traces, link them back. I'll go back and redo some of them, but yeah, that was every single one. All these transistors, these are the color transistors, and you adjust them here. But you got your red. Actually, you can see the color red. Red, this would be for the green, these two, and these two for the blue. So that's that. Didn't have any caps for here. So right now I'm just cleaning it up, tidying stuff. Quite a bit of work. As soon as I get this resistor, I put it back in, and it should be ready to go and be tested. See if it works. Right, quick update on this chassis. It's been quite a journey of just replacing parts and bits. So I couldn't find the proper resistor for this. So well, I did find the right value, but I couldn't find the right type that slots in, but I think this will do. I just have insulation tape here just to prevent anything touching, but it should be okay. There was a problem with this guy, TH2, which is a common failure on these chassis, and I found a replacement one from one of these chassis. I have a ton of these, and yeah, whatever. This is a 10-inch chassis. I've already scavenged it for parts, so you know, I don't feel too bad scavenging stuff on this. Change a few caps, whatever I had on hand. You can see I've put blue dots wherever I changed them, so I can identify them. I've resoldered this guy that was just disconnected. Checked all the horizontal transistor and the driver. They checked fine. Yeah. Anyway, so this guy, what happens is very often these disconnect or burn out. There's a very, very thin wire that can actually burn out. So that happened in this case, and I fixed that. There was a ton of cold solder joint on the neck board, and so I fixed it as much as I could. You can see here, it's you know, it looks the way it does, but it seems to be working. There was a burnt resistor here, so I didn't have the right value. It's R140, and it should be 560 ohms, but I just used two resistors of higher wattage as well, just in case. Right, update on the chassis. So I put it in the cab, and I got some high voltage. I got some white screen with some retrace lines, so that means the high voltage is working. Means our power, at least high voltage power, is all working. But there was a problem. There was no colors on screen, no image really or anything like that. So usually I would suspect the remote board, the neck board first. And indeed, when I looked back in the cab, I could see some smoke coming out. You can see those resistors here are burnt, and these were crazy hot. So I took the board out and just tested those transistors here, and these actually drive the colors. They're in pairs of two, and you can see there's a wire here for blue, for green, and for red. And essentially all of them but these two, and there was more, I don't know where the other one is, all of them but these two tested dead, were just gone. You know, the specs were completely out, and A couple of were shorted, so I decided to replace them all. And these actually that were working were like one was here and the other one was here or something like that. So essentially we weren't getting any colors driven to the neck, and then the resistors started just smoking, probably as a consequence. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't looked at the schematics where these lie in the in the schematics, but anyway, these are 580 ohms, I think. And do you know, when I test them again like that, they test fine. They test, you know, they come up as 580. So I think they just overheated for a small period. But you can see this one is the leg is broken. Anyway, I'm not going to put them back because at least I can rule them out as being a source of problem if it still doesn't work. So I'm waiting for some new ones. The other possibility would be we're missing a -5, which I can test. I'll test that afterwards. I was getting the right voltage on the hot, so that wasn't an issue. So we'll test that once we get all the parts back. We'll test that. I've also ordered just a vertical and a horizontal IC. Just in case, because first I didn't have any spares, so it'll be handy to have anyway, and in case that was the problem. But I tested a few parts after that. All my caps test okay. Actually, I'm looking at this guy, is a little bit bulgy, isn't it? Yeah, it might be worth replacing that guy. I'm not sure I have one. I mean, it's not visibly bulgy. Maybe not. Maybe it's fine. It just looks like it wants to pop. I think it probably needs to be replaced at some point. I think it'd be fine for the sake of testing, but we'll need to do a cap kit anyway on this guy, or finish the cap kit. Anyway, so waiting for the resistors to arrive. Did I say transistors? Resistors to arrive, and then we'll test those. As you can see, I mean, some of them were just, the legs were gone. They just weren't even connected properly, and the legs were still there. So I've redone the traces here as well, as best as I could. Double, triple tested everything. Make sure there's no bridges, but you can see there's a lot of just broken traces, and just had to fix however best I could. It's not the best job, but it'll work. You can see here and here and all here. Right, we're back on the bench. So I put this in after putting all new transistors and new resistors, checked everything on the neck board. At least that was in the color path, and it checks fine. This bulging cap, I'm not sure. I'm going to replace that. It does look like it's bulging. It's not the healthiest. Anyway, it needs a recap at some point. But when I checked, I looked at the voltages. So I was able to get the 12 volt. So long story short, we get voltages to the neck board here, and we get a 12 volt line and a -5. And it goes to here for the 12 volt, and the black one here is the -5. And I was getting a 12 volt, but not a -5 while this was powered. So the -5 is actually handled by this 7905 regulator, and I suspect this is dead. I don't have a spare one, so, and the only way really, I don't think there's a way to test these other than, you know, building a circuit for them. So I'm gonna order a new one. I don't have one on hand, but I'm going to order a new one and just see if that fixes our problem. We're not getting -5 anyway to the neck board. So first thing to suspect is the -5 regulator, right? I think this is actually going straight from the middle here. Let me see. Is there schematics here for this guy? Yeah. Where is this? -5. So our -5 line would be, so we got -5 here. So going up over to, yeah, this leg here. So yeah, it's coming directly from the regulator. There's nothing else in the path. So If a new one doesn't fix that, then we've got a problem coming from the voltage that's coming to the regulator. I assume it's also feeding. Is it feeding something else? Probably is anyway. So yeah, that -5 is used for something else. Anyway, so let's just actually have I got -5 here? There you go on the schematics. Got a 7905 here, and that -5 is going. What's the path? Is it taken? Oh, so it's going through diode. No. There you go. There you go. This is the direct path it's taking. So SP7, and that's going straight into the neck board. So if we've got no -5 coming out of here, I suspect this guy first. If it's not this guy, then we'll have to worry about this path. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that's not it. And has this thing sent me for a loop a few times. So I plugged it back in and I was still getting the white. I changed the 7905, still getting the white screen. So I thought, okay, well, the board is not getting its whatever supply to the 7905, and that pulse is coming from that little IC over there, which is the horizontal circuit generator thing. And so I changed that, and lo and behold, I do run. The screen takes a minute too, but there you go. We got a picture. I just need to sort the all the picture colors, and you know, it might need a recap. But there you go. We got a screen. I'm just gonna tidy this and get back to you in a second. There you go. I just adjusted the screen as best as I could, you know, while this is running, just so that I know that it's running. I'm gonna let this run for a while. But there you go. This is the original monitor that came with this cab. Man, was this a restore and a half.